Oilers aren't screwing around, huh? The Edmonton Oilers have acquired Jason Dickinson from the Chicago Blackhawks for a first-round pick. Is that the whole deal? No, it's not the whole deal. But holy moly if it was! It's one of those deals where if it works out, obviously you're not going to care. But if it doesn't, even though there's other parts to the deal, it's going to be Jason Dickinson for a first-round pick. Yeah, well, at least you get Jason Dickinson for the next couple Stanley Cup runs. Couple? Huh? Jason Dickinson and his $4.25 million cap hit expire at the end of this season. So unless there's a contract extension involved, this is a pure rental. You know what? All right, let's talk about the full deal. The Edmonton Oilers acquired Jason Dickinson, 50% salary retained, so that 4.25, you cut that in half, and forward Colton Doc. What do the Chicago Blackhawks get? Well, they get Andrew Magiapane in the deal. The Edmonton Oilers obviously had to dump money out in order to make this happen, and I think that's part of the reason why they had to give up a 2027 first-round pick. Now, the first-round pick is protected. It's top 12 protected because people looked at the Leafs and they went, well, we don't want to be them, do we? No, you do not. No, you very aggressively do not. So you were right to protect it. Also, a 2027 first, that'd be next year. That'd be when McDavid's extension kicks in, even though the salary cap is going to skyrocket. If it ever happens that the Edmonton Oilers actually need for that pick to be top 12 protected, just know that Stan Bowman has been fired. Now, if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan, you don't care about the picks. Well, you probably care about the picks, but tell me about the players that we're getting. Well, Colton Doc is a little easier. He came here to hit everybody and chew bubblegum, and he's all out of bubblegum. In 53 games, he has just 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points. And 189 hits. At 6'4", 218 pounds, that sounds like a miserable, no good, very unfun night. Also important with Colton Doc for the Edmonton Oilers, I know you want to win a Stanley Cup now, but you got to think of the future a little bit. He's on an $825,000 contract. It expires this year, but when it expires, he is a restricted free agent. Just 23 years old, and again, 6'4", 218. Hits everybody. Jason Dickinson, I just have to marvel at Chicago for a second, because the Vancouver Canucks had Jason Dickinson and they tied a pick to him to send him to Chicago. It was Dickinson and a 2024 second round pick for Riley Stillman. Riley Stillman, who by the way is in the Edmonton Oilers organization now, so maybe the real loser of this trade is the Canucks. Jason Dickinson is one of those players who I think can really help your team as long as you understand and are realistic about what you're getting. Dickinson scored 22 goals once. Jason Dickinson scored 22 goals in a season actually pretty recently. It was just the 2023-24 season. He had 22 goals. That was also his only 20-goal season. That was also his only double-digit season. Yeah, I know. I went back and checked while shooting this to make, yep, he scored 9 twice. Wow. His career high is 35 points. This season, in 47 games, he's got 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points. He's not a scorer. But he typically plays in your bottom 6. He typically doesn't take very many penalties, and he typically takes care of all the grunt work that you don't want your stars having to worry about. Here's one thing you got to know about the Chicago Blackhawks. Is their season going well? No. Aggressively no. But what if I told you they have the #1 penalty kill in the entire NHL? Well, if you're a Blackhawks fan or an Oilers fan even, I know you know that. And the reason you know that, well, if you cheer for the Blackhawks, of course you know that. And if you're an Oilers fan, you're like, why did we get Connor Murphy? That's why, because he killed penalties on the team with the #1 penalty kill, and you thought maybe he could do that for us. Well, on average, Jason Dickinson played the second most time on ice on the penalty kill per game on the Blackhawks among forwards. Alex Vlasic is #1, 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Connor Murphy, 2:57. Now he's on the Oilers. Ilya Mikheyev, #3 at 2:46. And Jason Dickinson, so 2 members of the top 4 for Chicago, at 2:13. So 2 of the top 4 guys, the defenseman with the second most average minutes on the penalty kill and the forward with the second most minutes average on the penalty kill for the #1 penalty killing unit in the NHL, went from the Blackhawks and have joined the Oilers for this run. Are they the sexiest names? No, absolutely not. Did you give up kind of a lot? Yeah, you did. But if it gets you over the top, and no one is going to write off the Oilers if they know what's good for them, no one's ever going to care. Steve, why do you keep talking about the cost? Well, it's going to cost Stan Bowman his job if the Oilers don't get real close to a cup or win one. From producer Drew, who is editing this very video, Stan Bowman and the Oilers this season traded away a 2027 first-round pick, a 2027 third-round pick, a 2028 second-round pick, a 2029 second-round pick, Stuart Skinner, Brett Kulak, Andrew Magiapane. But they added Spencer Stastny, Tristan Jarry, whoa, Black Betty, Sam Poulin, Connor Murphy, Jason Dickinson, and Colton Doc. The Jarry trade on its own looks brutal right now. The kind of thing that could really sink your season. The Edmonton Oilers right now appear to be in the same position that they're almost always in. They know how to score goals. You're gonna have to score 5 or 6 in order to win a game. And what's crazy is they very often can. And you wonder, can they win like this in the playoffs? And if the last 2 years have taught us something, they very often can. But what I'm guessing happened is they looked around. I mean, they already made a Hail Mary in net. And who knows how either of those Hail Marys are going to end up working out in the playoffs. Because I would consider Tristan Jarry and Connor Ingram both Hail Marys for this team. I guess you always have Calvin Pickard. Unless you're getting Sergei Bobrovsky in the next 36 hours, I'm not sure how you're going to pull that off. I don't know how you would pull off any moderately tandem goalie in the NHL right now. You've got to improve the defense around the goalies and just make their lives easier. Going out and getting Connor Murphy and getting Jason Dickinson is going to do that. So the Oilers get a little bit bigger, a little bit meaner, a little bit more defensively responsible, and they lose Andrew Magiapane in the process, a guy they weren't really using. This could be great for Chicago, because Andrew Magiapane does not make an insane amount of money. He makes $3.6 million against the cap this season and next. That was insane for the Oilers, but for the Blackhawks, who right now have like $13 million or whatever it is in cap space, it's fine. It's fine. We know the playbook here. You rehabilitate the player, he either becomes part of the solution and you keep him, or you trade him next year or in the summer because, hey, he did well with us in bigger minutes. Isn't that great? You do exactly what you did with Jason Dickinson with Andrew Magiapane. And because the Oilers were in cap hell and needed to get out of it both this season and next, that to me is why they had to give up a first-round pick. It's not necessarily Jason Dickinson. He's a big part of that cost, and on his own, maybe he's a second or something, but you're going to have to really sweeten that pot if you want us to take Mangiapane's money. And then, wow, did they ever. I mean, with the Oilers, you know what it is. It's do or die, right? They're giving up just insane prices for players, and they might not be done giving up insane prices for players. They've been kicking tires on everybody because everyone knows how special this team can be, how special the players are on it. They know how close they've come over the past couple years. And each time over the past couple years, you've run into the Florida Panthers, who aren't going to be there if you get to the final. McDavid, with his contract extension, has given you a golden ticket. You have to cash the thing. Sure, at the end of it, if you don't win, you're going to look really dumb. So dumb. But no one ever accomplished anything interesting or noteworthy worrying about how dumb they would look if they failed. The Oilers are pushing their chips in. Let's keep our eyes open because I just don't think they're done. What do you think? What do you think of this trade? What do you think of the season the Oilers have had, and what do you think they're going to continue to do? And if you're a Blackhawks fan, how you feeling? You got a first-round pick. You got to be feeling good about that. But at some point, you're going to want to move forward with all this, right? Let me know down in the comments. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. SDPN right here on this YouTube channel is your source for all things NHL trade deadline. We're going to be doing a live stream once the dust settles at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on the SDPN YouTube channel.
Hey, did you like the thing you just watched?
Was it hilarious? Was it informative?
Was it me losing my mind?
Possibly. Potentially. Most of the time it is. Hey, listen, if you like what SDPN has to offer, you should check out more of our videos and subscribe to our channel by clicking subscribe, or Steve will find you.